Yo, this is Rick Mahorn, the bad boy, giving a shout out to my man Drew, Detroit Drew. Make sure you tune in on his YouTube channel, Detroit Drew. Bad boy.
Are you ready?
I miss the days where I could come out here and say, as the days are getting hotter, the news is getting hotter. And quite frankly, it's not the case. But, we're what? Frankly, 20-some days away from the NBA potentially still returning. But Detroit basketball, as of right now, is done. So we're going through this offseason together. Probably tomorrow, I'll probably be going live. I'm not sure what we'll be doing. We might just do a Q&A. Saturday, we have Above the Rim, a 4th of July special with a special guest on JMO's channel. It's going to be a good one. Go over there and do all of that. Well, that's just kind of the rest of the schedule for the rest of the week. I'm not sure what I'll be doing Sunday, but for Detroit Drew, that's my schedule. So today, I'm talking about the fit of Troy Weaver and Dwane and Casey because I've seen a lot of articles talking about this can be a really good relationship, and I want to kind of chime in on my 2 cents on what I think this relationship could be. This has the potential to be a great, strong relationship. Troy Weaver knows how to draft people, especially in the early rounds. You can talk about OKC in the later rounds once they got good, that there was kind of questionable, iffy picks. But this guy knows high-priced talent. He knows superstars. He knows guys who are going to be really good. You can't deny that. Now, like I said, late first round, second round, it's iffy, But I think with the combination of Dwane Casey as Stefanski there, they're going to be, I don't want to call them the Holy Trinity, but that's what you're kind of looking at here. They're going to be talked about who they want. They're going to have to take Troy's suggestions very strong, but it's going to be a community. They're going to talk about it, and I think that, they're going to help each other out with their weak points. Whatever their weaknesses are, that's what the other 2 guys are there to kind of help each other out. It's going to be a strong, well-oiled machine, and I can't wait to see where this is going to go. I really can't. But I think the main thing we have to look at here is we brought Troy Weaver in here to be a good draft personnel guy. Dwane Casey, his calling card is developing young talent. Rather, if you think he can or he can't, that's what his calling card is what people know him for. You have to look at Dwane Casey's resume. He did an assistant job for Dallas when they won the NBA championship with Dirk. That was one of the better defensive teams in the league at the time. Then he goes to Toronto. Started that team. The Toronto was like the Lions, man. They sucked. They had T-Mac and Vince Carter. You can call that the Barry Sanders. They're Calvin Johnson. And then they got Chris Bosh, and they were good for a minute. But after that, they were just kind of But eventually, through a 7-year span, he turned that team over. They got better and better each and every year, and they got better defensively each and every year. And now look at them, man. Again, it's a franchise doing it together, but they made Kyle Lowry, DeRozan, Siakam, all-stars. Serge Ibaka, Marcus Gasol are always borderline all-stars. They've just done an incredible job of getting younger pieces and developing them. Just some of their bench players are really good. So, that's something that you have to look at from that. I think with that being said, with what Dwane Casey and Troy Weaver bring together, you combine them, and you're going to get the best of both worlds. You're going to get some good draft picks. You're going to get a guy who's supposed to be able to develop these guys. They're going to work together and put the best product they possibly can on the court. I'm very happy we have Troy Weaver. I think Dwane Casey's got, 2 years left in his deal? 3 years left in his deal? I think that there's going to be a good trial period to see how this relationship's going to work. And by then, Troy will have 2 years left in his deal. So I think for the majority of both their contracts, they're going to be working really well together. They have to. They have to get this thing right. They have to get this thing to work. And so far, they have spoken nothing but high praise from one another. You kind of have to, because it's really awkward right now, because you probably can't go face-to-face with them right now. I don't know how they are doing that, but I'm very anxious to see how they're going to work together, man. I can't stress that enough, but this has a very good chance of being a Batman and Robin, or better yet, a Batman and Superman relationship, where we got two strong leaders right here who are trying to get the job done. And the ultimate job is to eventually bring back another NBA title back to Detroit. That's what the end game is. And now I'm not talking about Thanos. When you got two guys who want to, Dwane Casey hasn't done it on his own yet. Dwane Casey's got to be motivated because the guy who replaced him in Toronto has already got one. Troy Weaver wants to prove to everybody that, he was the guy behind the success of OKC. You got two guys in this front office right now, one a GM, one a coach, who are both trying to prove something, not only to themselves, which is probably the most important one, but to everybody in the league, that they can do this thing. They got their own team. They got their own players now. When you get motivation from that, it's going to carry down to the players, because when you put faith in those players, when you trade for someone, when you draft for someone, when you give someone an extra extended amount of minutes, when you call someone up from the G League, you're putting faith in them. We're putting a lot of faith into everything right now, and I'm loving it. But let me know what you guys think this relationship could possibly become, man. Like I said, excuse me, it could be a Batman-Robin relationship. It could be a Batman-Superman. I'm very anxious. I think they'll work because they're just kind of wired the same. They got the same mindset. So, I was a little bit skeptical at first. You always have to be skeptical when you get a new GM, but I think that this thing has the potential of being one of the better front offices in the league right now, in terms of chemistry and being on the same page. I'm not saying that they're going to turn this thing around overnight. They have a ton of work to do, but I think that they'll get along very well and really look to carry this restoring thing that I keep saying to another level. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Instagram, Twitter, DSA members, DSA website, all in the description. Check all that out. Come back tomorrow, and that's the bottom line, because Detroit Drew said so, man. Peace.